Hey guys, Lee from Overbite Gaming here, and welcome to the first part of a two-part video where I talk about the Star Trek games I've played and enjoyed over the years. Now, I know there are others out there, but I haven't played them, so I can't really talk about them. One proviso I will make at the start here, some of these games are kind of old and are bastards to get running on newer systems, so I will get footage where I can, even if I have to get it from other places. But I will get footage from where I can, and if I can't, there will be stills, because damn, some of them are bastards to try and get running. Oh my god. Anyway, let's begin. The first game I played, Star Trek game, Star Trek 20th Anniversary, released in '92. It's basically a series of episodes from the original series done point and click style. There's some spaceship combat as well, which was sort of moving crosshairs to move around, changing your speed, and just shooting phasers and photon torpedoes, and it was great. And even better, if you got the CD release, it was voiced by the original cast. So that was amazing. It just made that experience just really authentic, and they really did come across as like original series episodes, which was really nice, because that's exactly what you wanted. Second game on the list, Star Trek The Next Generation, A Final Unity. I waited for this game for months. I ordered it on Special Reserve, which was a mail order thing that we used to have here in the UK. Waited months and months for it. Didn't come. The day I'm due to start my orientation for college after having like 6 weeks off, it turns up. I'm like, you bastard. So I cut my college orientation short and got home for it. But oh my god, it was a fantastic game. I remember I had the opening cinematic on a demo disc, and I just watched it over and over and over again because I'm a complete fucking Star Trek nerd. It's a point and click adventure game again. You can go around the Enterprise and go to different rooms. You go to the transport room, do your waiting, go to holodeck to watch the cinematics. You can get into the con and pilot your ship, or you can get into operations and basically look at a database of all the information about Star Trek stuff. It's really cool. It's all voiced by the cast of the show, and it was graphically really good for the day. It has its low points, like the space combat was pretty terrible, and now, even though you can kind of get it running, the combat is just light years faster than the game and almost unplayable. So just delegate it, Mr. Worf, and pray, basically, because it is basically a crapshoot. You could end up like against fucking 3 Romulan warbirds. I mean, in this series they ran the fuck away, but you have to fight them. What? Also, some of the alien races are a little bit. There's like a race of monkeys basically with face paint. Yeah, and you know, being a Star Trek game, they basically just make up lots of new races to put in there rather than having the established ones, which was disappointing. I don't really care about races I haven't seen on the TV. I want to like interact with those guys. I mean, we can't have Romulans. They must be Garidians that are very similar to Romulans and use Romulan ships, but they're not Romulans. Okay, thanks, buddy.
Shutdown completed.
Next we have Ds9 Harbingers. Came out in '96. It was an adventure game that had sort of... it was almost Myst-like, and it was first person. You wandered about the station and clicked on people to talk to them and went through dialogue trees with them. You had to go around. You got phases at some points where you had to click on these sort of camouflage things that would pop out, and you'd have to click on them quickly. There are a few sort of FMV runabout scenes where you shot things and use the station defenses and stuff like that, all voiced by the cast. It was a decent story. A group of aliens called the Scythians, again not an original alien race that they couldn't have used someone else for, that came through the wormhole from the Gamma Quadrant, loads of drones around them, plasma storm infecting the station, so everybody's not there, apart from like the main cast, essentially. I don't think Dr. Bashir is it? Was Dr. Bashir in it? I don't think he was. That seems a weird omission, but whatever. And it turns out the drones aren't actually with the Scythians, and the Scythians don't really do this whole speaking thing, so they just say like a few words and you trying to make it out from there, but it's not easy. And it's okay. And you got to find out where these drones are coming from. Obviously, you have to go back through the wormhole and blah, blah, blah. Best thing about it is you've got to flirt with Jadzia Dax, and I'm always down for that. 96, we had the first of the FMV games that I'm going to talk about. They're actually both in the same year. This one's Star Trek Klingon. It came with a book, which was cool. It came with a Klingon language lab, which was cool. And it was a pretty good experience. I mean, it's an FMV game, so you know what you're getting into when you go into it. But you're basically it's a holodeck program to sort of imitate a young warrior's initiation called Pock. And in the book, it goes into more Pock's backstory and sort of where he is now, and it has a wraparound story in it. But it's good. It's got a few of the original sort of Klingon actors, like Robert O'Reilly, I believe is his name, who plays Gowron. He reprises his role in this, and you basically form part of a Klingon crew and see what their side of life is like when you haven't got Worf, who's a terrible Klingon, absolutely fucking terrible. No Klingon is like Worf. He is so fucking boring and straight-laced. My God. Oh, just have a few beers and get drunk with your mates and have a fight afterwards. That's what being a Klingon is, not prune juice. Fuck me. But yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. It's an FMV game, so your bang for your buck will vary on that, but not bad. And it's the entirety of the FMV is on YouTube, so you can go check that out, no problem. Next is Star Trek Borg, as I said, 96 again. This one, you play the son of a man that was killed at Wolf 359, and you want to have vengeance on the Borg, and it's set, I think, at the start of First Contact, when they're sort of invading again. And Q comes along and says, "You want your chance at revenge? I'll give it to you." And he gives you this extra special scanner where you can scan things, and you basically you go back in time onto the Excelsior-class ship, the Righteous, I believe it's called, and you have an adventure with the Borg alongside your dad, who doesn't know who you are because you've been put in the body of this lieutenant that died previously. And it's an adventure with the Borg, and you do get Borgified at one point, which was super cool. And you turn the Borg sort of enhancements against them, which is just fucking neat, really. And it ties up really nicely. And John Delancey as Q is always good fun. I prefer this over Klingon because, well, I'm a Federation lad for a start, yeah? But it's like a really good double episode of Star Trek. With different characters, admittedly, other than Q. But it's good, it's better than Klingon. It has the same problems in that it's an FMV game, and yeah, it's a bit clunky. But the story's good, and it's the original Borg, not the Janeway Borg, so it's always good.
And to think I went to so much trouble.
Captain, these blast patterns are consistent with type.
Star Trek Generations, obviously based on the movie of the same name. It's kind of a first-person shooter in a maze kind of thing for most of the game. You go to like a lot of different places, and they really stretch things out. Like Amagosa Station is fucking huge. You do find Soren there, and there are Romulans on board because they were on board in the movie. They weren't, not when they got there. But yes, so you shoot Romulans and stuff like that, and obviously you have to defeat Soren in the end. And it features the two captains and the voice actors and stellar cartography a lot. They really like that fucking set. And there's like FMV clips of the movie. It's okay, you got a phaser, you got like this whole spectrum of settings for it, so you can like weak stun, heavy stun. Really, I don't need like 15 settings for the phaser, just tell me which one kills, which one stuns. That's the only two I need. But it was alright, it wasn't great, it was a movie time that wasn't complete ass-gas, so I suppose that gives it some merit.
Law prohibits their removal from that system.
Next up, Star Trek Starfleet Academy, 97. Came on about 5 CDs, I think. I think it was CDs back then. I don't think it was DVDs at that point. Basically, you're a cadet at Starfleet Academy. You're doing sort of simulation missions. And there's an wraparound storyline. You've got some of the original cast turn up, like Sulu and Kirk and Chekhov. The ones that will work for anything, basically. And it plays, I want to say, a little bit like Wing Commander. It's a bit arcadey. But you do, this is the first time I sort of like played a game where I could use a tractor beam to pull things. And sensors to like detect things. It was more, I want to say, like there was more sort of technical systems in it that made it almost feel a little bit RPG, even though it was really like an arcade flight sim most of the time. And it had your FMV cutscenes as well. Some of the acting wasn't great, but it was fine. And it was fun, and it was good that you felt like, okay, I'm on all these different original series ships, like the Oberth, the Miranda, the Constitution, all of that lot are in there. And then you're like, I can scan things. It's the first time I can really scan things. This is good. I like this. Like, I can pick where I want to warp to and what speed, and I can warp, and oh, it's pretty neat. Actually, we could do that in Final Unity. I'll shut up now. 98 saw Star Trek do a more successful first-person shooter than Generations, and that was Klingon Honor Guard. I think it was based on the Unreal Engine, and obviously you are a Klingon, and you are an Honor Guard, and you shoot lots of people. It's hard. It's like, if you get the occasion to go back and actually try it, it's a bastard to get running, but if you can, you will discover it's very hard. It's not, like, today's first-person shooters are not difficult in the main, regenerating life and all that shit. No, you just add a number and you pick up health packs in this. So, but it was nice. You could use a batleth, which was cool. And the Klingon Disruptor is always cool, even though the trigger's on the top. In this, for some reason, you kind of use your thumb on the top of it rather than the trigger that is shown in all the other pictures of Klingon weapons. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. And not good varied enemies, good varied levels. I remember I played it one New Year's Eve instead of going out. Because, yeah, I'm a bit sad. And the last game for this video,
The final frontier.
big deep breath, Star Trek Birth of the Federation. So you want a 4X game, and you want a Star Trek 4X game. This is basically where you end up. So you start out from, as a Federation, you start from Sol, you'd like colonize near planets, you'd create like treaties with alien races, and you could bring them inside the Federation as well, which was nice, and they gave you bonuses for doing it. One of the cool things was that you didn't have to play as the Federation. It had a ton of different races in there. Like, you could be Cardassians, you could be Klingons, you could be Romulans. They all had their own ships, and you had like fleet combat as well. It was kind of like set it up and watch it go kind of fleet combat, but it was cinematic. It was pretty good. It was better than TNG Final Unity for a damn sight. But it gave everything you wanted from a Star Trek 4X game, basically. Decent combat, lots and lots of political options, lots of research, all that jazz, designing ships, that was in there, I think. It's been a while since I played it, and it's a bastard to get running, so that might be one of the slideshow ones, I gotta say. But yeah, Birth of the Federation, if you can find it, get it running. It's a good 4X experience, especially if you like Star Trek. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the first video. We've made it to 2000, the millennium, and we'll be continuing from that point on the ones that I've played next week. So I hope you've had fun today, guys, and some of this footage, if I've managed to get it, has reunited some of your nostalgic feelings you had for Trek games back in the day. Don't forget, we release videos Wednesdays and Saturdays now, and I remembered to say that. Yes, thank you. And please, please, please comment down below about Star Trek games that you've enjoyed. Whether you think like, oh man, I love Star Trek, it's so much better than Borg or something like that, or Generations was the best one. You're wrong, but you can say that in the comments. That's your right. Anyway, guys, I've been Lee, you haven't. Take it easy, guys.